Have you ever accidentally caught someone naked? If so, what's the story? I was doing a Zoom meeting with a coworker and his wife walked by in the background fully naked. Twice. I don't think she realized her husband's camera was on or that she was in view. You have been visited by Doggo of Balance. Subscribe for finding balance in your life. I work as a handyman. I went to a house to install smoke detectors in bedrooms. I arrive and a woman lets me in and I tell her that I will be entering all of the bedrooms and I ask her if anyone else is home. She says no. The first bedroom that I enter has a naked dude asleep on his bed. On my way out, I inquire from the woman why she told me no one else was home. She apparently forgot about the sleeping naked dude. I was hanging some photo on the wall for my now ex-GF. I heard her sister leave the bathroom after taking a shower but didn't think much of it. Hearing her approach, I turned to look out of the bedroom door. And caught her totally naked walking from the bathroom to her room. She didn't realize I had come to the house, so she screamed and called me a gorilla, then frantically ran to her bedroom to cover up. Whoops Macron / Macron. On holiday with family friends at age 7 and my brother and I joined them at their hotel room to watch Free Willy with kids our age. As I was sitting there, mother walks out of the shower with a towel around her head. And completely naked. The movie ended, went back to our room and pretended nothing happened. Because my parents would freak and probably not going to let us go over anymore, but the kids had Power Rangers on tape. I wasn't going to risk Power Rangers. Thankfully my little brother didn't see, kid was a snitch. The kids saw their mother naked and acted as if nothing happened. Damn priorities. I was at my girlfriend's house, it was at night, we were sleeping on the first floor, while her parents were sleeping downstairs. Near the kitchen. Thing is, I got a little thirsty, so I decide to go in the kitchen for water. While I'm entering the kitchen, it turns out that her mother, who was naked, had the same idea. We entered the kitchen in the same time, in front of each other, the two entries to the kitchen face each other. So we looked at each other and got the FCK back to our rooms. It was not funny on the moment, but speaking of it with everyone the morning after, we had quite a laugh. My friends and I were like 7 and playing tag, so I ended up chasing him into his mom's room and ended up seeing some nips that day. Nice. A friend of mine texted me to come hang out and told me just to walk in when I got there. So I get there about 20 minutes later, and walked in on him jacking off. He said he was bored and forgot he texted me. Exactly a week later, he showed up at my house unannounced and walked in on me jerking off. Was cleaning at work and knocked on the women's changing room to make sure I was allowed to enter. All was fine, so I walk in on a topless colleague and it took about a second and a half to realize what's just happened. I apologize and leave. She says it's okay, but it's not, so I leave, and then when she eventually comes out she offers me a pastry. Still flustered, I declined. I really shouldn't have declined. Edit, thanks for the awards. I don't know what they mean, but that's very kind. I work in a predominantly male industry, 3 women to 50 men. We have men and women locker/shower rooms, but all of our uniforms are stored in the same room that happens to be located right outside the men's locker room. I walked in said room to grab my uniforms and I happened to walk in right at the exact time that the maintenance men are getting ready to leave. The double doors swing wide open and there it was. An unidentified coworker, naked as the day he was born. The whitest backside I have ever seen. The moon would be jealous at how bright his ass shone. I only saw it for a second, but that image is burned in my brain forever. Months later I was telling this story to a coworker friend. He asked me if I knew who it was, where the person was standing, etc. I never saw the naked man's face to properly identify him, but he figured it out. It was him. In my freshers week at uni, I walked in on one of my flatmates. She had taken some substances and had disappeared into her room. So I knocks on her door asking if she's alright. No answer. So I walk into her room and hear the distinct sound of someone throwing up, so I open her door and find her, naked, in her shower, covered in her own vomit, just staring at me. I could never quite look at her the same way. Thank FCK she didn't remember it. I was at a school camp and went around the side of a building looking for a toilet. As I turned a corner I quickly jolted back as I realized a female classmate was changing and had only a shirt on. That was my first real-life glimpse of ass and it was glorious. The family made when I was 10 years old. She just came out of the shower and quickly shut the door when I saw her. Turns out that my dad was shagging her lamau. Delivered pizza for a few years during school, university. There was this regular. Short before Christmas. This skinny dude with long hair was just opening the door with a very small red thong. Was like a roller coaster of emotions. He asked me to bring the pizza in. And his girlfriend was butt naked. Got weed cookies as tip. And left. 10/10 professional delivery smile. Edit, very delicious cookies. Walked in on my stepsister naked. Didn't know she was in there and needed to shower before going out. There was no noise or anything because she turned off the water and she was just stepping out of the shower as I opened the door. What did you do, step bro? Walked out? What was I supposed to do in this situation? True, it's not like she was stuck in the dryer or anything. Aside from family, I stayed at a friend's house and saw her topless. She is actually rather hot, and her hair covered her boobs like a mermaid. Turned out she has a relaxed attitude to nudity and doesn't see it as inherently sexual. She didn't mind. Stepsister had the door open as I walked past. I glanced over, saw her, she panicked. I continued on my way. I didn't think much of it and never said anything. We never spoke about it. Nothing like the simulations. I walked in on my stepmother shaving her bush. It wasn't sexy like in PRN. Ex's sister was in town, staying with us. I generally get out of the house around 5 a.m., and go get stuff ready at my shop for the day. I slept in one morning. Was in the kitchen eating breakfast, going through emails. There she strolls in, butt-ass naked. Walks right on over to the fridge and grabs some milk. Said hey, and went back to the bedroom. Those women rarely had clothes on at the house. I didn't hate it. Not naked, but when I was in 10th grade I was the first kid into the classroom and my teacher, hot for an older lady, probably younger than I am now, in retrospect, was walking around straightening the desks. She tried to step over/past a chair and her skirt got caught on it and flipped up just high enough for me to see her undies. Crazy how some memories are immediately burned into your memory for life. Walked in on my best friend's mum coming out the shower when I was 14. Greatest moment of my life up to that point. Still ranks up there. I was a cleaner at a hostel in New Zealand, got a call on my radio that the guests in cabin 1 had checked out. Went to the cabin, opened the door and there was a girl fully naked from the waist down. I apologized and quickly got the fuck out of there. Turns out the receptionist had told me the wrong cabin number. For a time I was a cleaner at a military base, including cleaning the gym's locker rooms. Soldier chicks don't care if anyone is working in there, they really don't. Merida, Mexico. Check in at front desk of hotel and give us key to the room. Walk in on one of the maids working her side gig entertaining a client. Got a free upgrade to best room in the place.